My name is Aaron Evans. It is February 14th, 2018, and it's about 9:48 p.m. And well, I can really keep it together right now because hi, today's gonna be a good day, and here's why. I just took my first shot of testosterone.
Hi, my name is Aaron Evans. Today is February 14th, 2020. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon, and today marks 2 years on testosterone. I never thought I'd be making this video, ever. Mostly because I never thought I would be at this point. So much has changed in the last 2 years for the better. And while there's still a lot of things that I need to work with and deal with, I probably am in the best physical and mental state that I've ever been in, ever. First of all, let's just talk about differences. One, you can hear. I remember immediately when this started happening, it was the greatest thing ever because I could be on the phone and not be misgendered. I can go to a store and not have people confused. It was, when my voice started dropping, it was fantastic because finally I sounded how I wanted to and how I felt like I should. So that's one. Two, I shaved recently, but facial hair. I've always wanted facial hair. That's been something that I've always been drawn to and attracted to growing up, looking at cis men. And when I started getting it, I'm like, hell yeah, because that's what I wanted. And so getting facial hair was such a big, hell yeah moment for me because it's what I wanted. What else changed? I don't know. Voice dropped, facial hair. This video is gonna be a ramble. I don't even know. Well, here's a big one. I no longer have menstruation once a month. And let me just talk to you, it's been a while. It's been over a year or more. It's over a year since last menstruation I ever had. And let me just tell you how important that is. Now, what people don't understand is that as a trans male, personally, getting a visit from Mother Nature once a month was one of the most psychological damaging things that happened. To this day, if I get a stomach cramp, just randomly, I will get anxiety because my brain goes back to that. I've been very open about this in the past, that a therapist had diagnosed me with PTSD for other reasons. However, once I started voicing this, she added that to the list. Getting a period was the worst feeling of my life. It was the worst. It was awful. It was the worst experience that I don't know how to describe it. I can't describe how awful it was because once a week I was in such a severely depressed state for so long, in a severely suicidal state for so long during the 4 or 5 years between starting a period and starting puberty versus starting testosterone. But during that week of Mother Nature visit, I never thought that I'd know the feeling of wanting to sincerely, like, destroy my body and die, and until I started feeling that. So once I started testosterone and that went away, and once I didn't get that anymore, I can't describe how much better my mental state and my life got once I stopped getting that, because it made my life so hard. And I know it sounds, people who can't understand it, I know it sounds awful, or not awful, but just so strange. But the second that I realized that it was gone, it was like I became a new person, because I realized some like sense of personal normality set in, and I had never felt that before. And it was the best. I can't put into words what that did for my mental state. Once a month, I'd go from depressed to severely suicidal. And it happened every month, and I couldn't do anything about it. It would happen for consistent years straight. I hated Christmas, because it would come on Christmas and I'd spend hours in the bathroom in a ball crying and just hating how my body felt and wanting to just physically rip my body apart. And my parents would be like, "Why are you so down? It's Christmas. What's wrong?" And I couldn't tell them because they wouldn't get it. And I remember the first year on testosterone when suddenly it was Christmas and I didn't get my period. It was the happiest Christmas I'd had in a while. And I'm rambling, I know, but I just can't physically describe how much better my life became. Now it is over, and it's so much better now. I still have some repercussions. Like I said, whenever I get a stomach cramp, my brain panics. I'm one of the few, or one of a percentage of trans men who can't wear a packer, because when I did, it felt like I was wearing a pad, and I immediately just went back to that state, and it was not good. So just warning, don't spend as much money as I did before actually testing out if you're good for one. Yeah, it's just socially I became better. I mean, I remember just a month after starting, how someone said to me specifically how much lighter I seemed and how much more hope I seemed to have. Again, I don't know if this is making any sense, but I suddenly felt confidence, and it was great. Testosterone gave me normalcy. And you don't know what normalcy you're missing until you're suddenly given it. And not just a period being gone, or a facial hair starting to grow. You start feeling like the person you start feeling like a part of the person you were meant to be. Now, of course, there has been some rough side effects of testosterone. If you look at the first video, which, by the way, took me forever to cut and edit into this because I could not watch it without without severe secondhand embarrassment. But if you look at that video, I obviously have more like breakouts since then. I've like since starting testosterone, my skin has not been the best. But like I'm okay with that because I'm 19 years old and I've been through 2 different rounds of puberty. So I expected it to happen. There have been people who are like, why is your skin breaking out? What are you doing? And I'm like, y'all, I'm a teenage boy who's been through 2 different rounds of puberty. What do you expect? So that's, I mean, I'm probably gonna have to do something about it at some point, but I'm fine with it right now. There is one of the things that was rough when I first started testosterone is that one, I don't know if this is even a side effect or like just me, but the first week after starting testosterone, all I wanted to do was eat. Like I think I ate like McDonald's 4 days in a row, and like it didn't even affect me. My metabolism just like shot up, which is, I guess is a good thing, but it was so strange. Now it's all leveled out, but yeah. One thing that I wish someone would have told me is that, you know how people, I can't speak for this, but like, you know how people say when you lose a sense, other senses get heightened? When suddenly the effects of testosterone started hitting me, my dysphoria from my period went away, my voice went away, from my face like went away. I no longer looked like a 12-year-old boy. But once that started going away, other dysphoric like feelings that couldn't be helped by testosterone heightened. If that makes sense? Suddenly, my chest bothered me more than it ever did. Suddenly, my like lower half of me bothered me, and I had never been bothered by that before. Like I had been, but like not to the point where I felt like pain from it. That took a long time to deal with. I'm still dealing with it severely. I don't even know how to describe the feeling. There was a period in my life, and there still is a period from time to time where I can't walk like in front of a mirror or look in the mirror because I see something that's just not supposed to be there. And it's really like a detachment that just doesn't feel right. I would do anything, literally anything at this point for top surgery, but right now I'm just really grateful for what has been done. I went from crying every night because of how like this emotional pain would manifest into such physical pain to the point where I felt numb almost, and I didn't care what happened to me before testosterone. I didn't care what happened to me. I didn't care what I did. I don't think I've ever said this out loud before, but there was one point my sophomore year where I was walking down the hallway thinking about events that were scheduled for the upcoming months. And I just thought, well, if I'm still alive then, because I had reached such a low point where I thought that I wasn't going to, when I thought I wasn't going to live to a certain age. And since testosterone changed that, it hit me a couple weeks ago just how much how much better my mental state is. I was severely suicidal in high school. And I've had multiple friends who have said to me that they don't know how I went from all the way up to the end of senior year without proper, like, medication and testosterone because of how severely depressed I was. But once that started, it was gone. Like, I'm, for the first time in my life, I don't hate who I am. I don't hate myself. For the first, like, yeah, there's still a lot of problems with, like, physical appearance and emotions, and that stuff is just human. That's just being human, and that's stuff that everyone has to deal with. But mentally, for the first time, I don't hate myself. And I don't hate just my existence anymore. I don't feel that physical pain that used to kill me every day. I say I haven't had a panic. I used to have a panic attacks daily. My junior year of high school, I would wake up every morning and throw up because of how bad my anxiety was. And now, sure, I still have anxiety that I deal with from time to time, but I cannot emphasize how much better my life is now. I don't even know if this video is making any sense. But letting a trans person start hormones can be a life or death situation, and it was for me. It made me go from I would be okay if I woke up the next morning, and it went from me being okay with not waking up the next morning to me looking forward to the next morning. I'm happy. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that I mentioned earlier that I deal with every day. I know my chest is still a problem I deal with. I know, I mostly it's just still my chest problems that I deal with, but for the first time, I'm happy. And I know what happiness feels like. That's really, really important to me. I didn't think I deserved this or it would ever happen. But here I am. We're at a different camera angle now because roommate and a friend came in and I didn't want to film in front of them. Did I mention I'm in college now and I live in New York? That's another thing that happened within the last 2 years. Anyway, final thing I wanted to say in this video is that I don't think I'll ever have the courage to say it to them in person. Lord knows I'm a wuss. But the thing I needed to say at the last part of this video is thank you to my parents. Because I know it's been hard. I've been out for 6 years. And I know it's been hard the last 6 years. Trying to process all this and deal with it and get used to it and accept it. I know it's been hard and I acknowledge it and I know it's not easy. So if somehow my parents are even watching this, I don't know. Thank you. Thank you for, even though it took a while, thank you for accepting me and giving me the opportunity to start testosterone because it saved my life. It really did. Thank you to my dad who drives me an hour one way to the only doctor in Georgia that will prescribe it to me. One way. It was an hour. And it's a lot, it's a lot of work. And again, I don't think I'll ever be able to say this to them, so that's why I'm saying it here. But appreciate it so much. I was in so much pain before all this, and there was so much in my life that I hated. And a simple decision of my parents going, okay, we'll take you to the doctor to find someone to give you testosterone. That simple decision did so much. And I know that there's still people that would be like, why are you okay with injecting yourself with medication once a week for the rest of your life? Why would you want to do that? And I'm like, wouldn't you do whatever you could to feel normal? Like, or feel happy? And I don't think it saved me. And just thank you to my, because I know how hard it has been. Trust me, I know how hard it's been. And I can't imagine how the initial reaction or feeling it is when your kid comes to you and says, hey, guess what? This isn't who you know is not me. And I desperately need to change it. Please help. I can't imagine how the initial feeling reaction. And yeah, it sucked for a long time after I came out. There was a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, but it took time, but it mellowed out. It got better. And just thank you, Mom and Dad, so much for saying yes. For saying yes to saying that I could start hormone therapy, because it fixed. I don't want to use the word fix because it wasn't anything, but it fixed a lot of the broken pieces inside of me. And to you, it may just seem like you said yes to something simple, but to me, it was saying yes to me feeling normal. And I just thank you. I don't even know what else to say. Someone once said to me that someone once said to me that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how long the tunnel is. And I think that's perfect. The perfect metaphor for how it felt over the years while trying to deal with me transitioning. And yeah, life is just, all in all, I don't even know how long this video is by now, but all in all, life is just good. And emotionally, I am doing pretty great. And this is the first time I've ever been able to say that. So, yeah. 2 years on testosterone. Here I am. I'm still here, even though I didn't think I would be. So if you're somehow watching this and you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my rambling reflection. If you're a parent who's watching this and is trying to figure out whether or not you're okay with letting your child start hormone therapy, if that's what's happening, it will do a lot of good. So anyway, my name is Aaron Evans. I don't even know what time it is at this point by the time I finish filming this. But it's been 2 years on testosterone, and the last 2 years have been pretty great.